Hey everybody, John with Mayco here. Today I'm going to show you everything you ever needed to know about using our crystal glazes, both jungle gems and crystal lights. So let's look at how exciting and fun crystal glazes can be for you to use. So throughout this video I'm going to show you what's exactly in this bottle, how you use it, and some really cool examples of 3 different creative ways for you to use the product. So let's start out by talking about what exactly is this crystal glaze. So when we package our crystal glazes, we put them either in a pint-sized jar or a 4-ounce jar, depending on how much you're going to use. And it's a non-toxic glaze that we actually add little crystal bits that we make here at Mayco right into the jar. We mix them together. But what happens with the crystals, they're kind of heavy and they sink to the bottom of the jar. So if you look closely at the bottom of this jar, you can see how they all want to hang out at the bottom. So you need to get in there and wake those crystals up, shake it up, and stir it up. Both of those movements will get them all mixed up, all jazzed together, all blended together, so that when you brush them out, you're going to get a nice even distribution of the crystals. So who loves crystal glaze? I love crystal glaze. You're going to love crystal glaze. If you're an artist that sometimes you have a project in front of you and you're just stumped, what the heck am I going to do with it? I can't draw really well. I don't know what I'm going to paint this piece with. So here's a great example of how crystal glazes can come to the rescue. So they're literally art in a jar. They do the work so you don't have to. So on this plain ordinary pot, it's like, I don't know what I want to put on here, but I know I like the colors. I know my palette in mind. So I grab a bottle of a jungle gem or crystal light, mix it up, and apply 3 coats all over. So look what happens to this plain, boring, plain piece of ceramic bisque that was fired first to cone 04. Put the crystals all over it and look. The hardest part was choosing which of the many different jungle gems or crystal lights I wanted to use. So I put it all over the piece, fired it to shelf cone 05 or 06. Notice the firing range there. And voila, the color did all the work, the kiln came in and helped. All I did was pick the color and put it on, and voila, I've got a beautiful piece of art that the product did all the work for me. So let's look inside the jar. What's going on in there? So we know that it's a glaze that's liquid. We know that we've got those crystal bits in there. We're going to mix them up. We're going to brush them all over a piece. I've got an example here that I've already brushed out for you on a piece of bisque to show you just what these crystals look like when you're brushing them on. So you'll notice that the crystals, after they've been brushed out completely, how they look like little tiny rocks or little tiny crystals, but they look small now. But beware, they're going to bloom open and get a lot bigger and blossom into bursts of color. So when you're brushing this out, make sure you don't overload the area with crystals. So just like when you're baking chocolate chip cookies, you don't want to put them too close together on the sheet because they're going to grow a bit and you don't want them to touch and grow too big. So here's what happens after firing. This is the same glaze you just looked at prior to firing, and look at how gorgeous this pops open with color, and they just get much bigger and much brighter and just beautiful, beautiful color assortment. So I hope that gave you a little bit of an invitation to explore more fun and exciting things that you can do with our crystal glazes. Watch for other videos that go in depth about more techniques, and we'll see you again.